let's just jump right into this explainer, because today we are looking at a biological reality that completely flips how we think about the gym. Physical strength is first and foremost a highly trainable neural event. I know, most of us walk up to a rack and focus entirely on the muscle we're targeting or the plates on the bar, but today we're going to look at some absolutely undeniable evidence that your brain is the actual driver of your strength. So let's break down exactly how to optimize your time, build some serious power, and literally change your brain in the process. Okay, think about this mind-bending paradox for a second. You've got two people. They lift the exact same weight at the exact same speed, but one of them walks away with significantly more strength and muscle growth. How is that even possible? Well, it's all about what's happening inside their head. Consider lifter A and lifter B. They're getting completely different biological returns on the exact same physical investment. The secret sauce isn't in their muscles at all. It's entirely in their neural drive. All right, section 1. The brain behind the brawn. You see, your nervous system and your muscular system aren't separate. They're a single continuous communication loop. The absolute primary driver of your strengths is the intensity of the neural signal fired from your brain straight down to the muscle. To develop true, raw strength, your brain literally has to send a signal intense enough to cross what's called a recruitment threshold. And crossing this specific threshold is exactly what fires those high-threshold motor neurons, which then activate your really powerful fast-twitch muscle fibers. And listen, this is absolutely crucial. These fast-twitch fibers are exactly what we tend to lose as we age, right? So keeping them active is honestly one of the most important things you can do for your long-term health and functionality. Which brings us to section 2, the power of intent. We've always kind of thought we need to physically move fast to be fast, right? But the biological mechanism actually relies way more on what you are attempting to do. It turns out, if you're lifting a heavy load and you are intensely trying to move that bar as fast as humanly possible, your brain creates a significantly stronger neural adaptation. Even if the weight is so crazy heavy that the bar is physically just creeping upward, your nervous system still registers that intense intent to move fast, and that trains it to be radically more efficient at recruiting muscle fibers next time. And this perfectly tees up the classic mind-muscle connection. Now, for years, this was totally dismissed as just, bro science in the gym, but modern physiology completely validates it. It's wild. If you're doing a bicep curl and you visually watch that muscle and you focus all your mental energy on contracting it as hard as you can, you will actually see more muscle growth than if you were just, going through the motions and checking your phone. You actually improve the muscle's resting tone, which is entirely driven by how well you connect with it neurologically. Moving right along to section 3, waking up dormant muscles. So how do we actually apply this science when our nervous system feels totally disconnected from our physical body? Like, do you ever find it genuinely difficult to feel a specific muscle working? A classic example is the lats during a pull-up. So many people just feel their arms burning and completely miss the back entirely. Well, if you have a dormant muscle group like this, I hate to say it, but you are leaving massive strength gains and massive neuroplastic adaptations completely on the table. But don't worry, you can instantly wake up these dormant muscle groups using 2 incredibly effective science-backed tools. The first one is eccentric overload. So if you can't feel your lats, just start at the top of the pull-up and very, very slowly lower yourself under control. This slow eccentric phase basically forces your nervous system to wake up and pay attention. The second tool is tactical prompts. This is so simple but so effective. Just have a workout partner touch that dormant muscle and give you a verbal cue, like, hey, squeeze my finger right here. That physical touch immediately spikes your neurological awareness of that specific spot. Next up, section 4, building true mental toughness. So beyond the physical gains, pushing your nervous system to its absolute limits actually alters the physical structure of your brain. Enter the anterior mid-cingulate cortex. This is a highly unique brain region that deeply engages when you face a challenge you absolutely dread. Think about staring down a brutal set of heavy front squats. You really don't want to do it, right? But when you force yourself to step up and engage anyway, this specific part of your brain just lights up like a Christmas tree. And what is just so incredible about this brain region is that it remains hyperplastic throughout your entire life. The breakdown is pretty wild. If you avoid the dreaded task, nothing happens. Pure stagnation. But if you force yourself to complete those hard, challenging lifts, your anterior mid-cingulate cortex literally grows in size. It gets physically bigger. Heavy lifting builds far more than just physical power. It literally builds the mental tenacity and resilience that you carry over into the rest of your daily life. Which brings us to our final part, section 5, master rest and recovery. Now, to actually lock in all of these neurological and physical adaptations, we have to master the single most overlooked part of neural mechanics, the critical window immediately following your workout. You absolutely cannot finish an intense, heavy set and then dive straight into checking stressful work emails. You see, high-intensity lifting mimics a survival threat to your brain. To actually reap the benefits, you have to actively signal to your nervous system that the quote-unquote threat is over so it can safely transition out of fight or flight mode. And you can do this by using a simple, zero-cost, 5-minute down-regulation breathing protocol. It's super easy. Step 1, separate from your stressors as soon as you finish. Step 2, dedicate just 5 minutes to breathing, nothing else. And the critical mechanism here is step 3, make your exhales exactly twice as long as your inhales. This specific breathing ratio acts like a brake. It effectively clamps down on the massive adrenaline spike from your workout and significantly accelerates your body's recovery process. So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a really vital question for your next trip to the gym. Ask yourself, will you just move weights today, or will you train your brain? Seriously, the next time you step up to a barbell, I want you to remember that recruitment threshold. Focus your mental energy to create a true mind-muscle connection and apply the fierce intent to move fast. Because when you do that, you're not just building muscle. You are quite literally architecting a stronger, more resilient mind.